Hey there, my name is Fallout, and today we're going over what your favorite weapon type in Destiny 2 says about you, bows. Destiny 2 might be a free-to-play game, but you're probably broke from the money you no doubt spend on therapy caused from the avalanche of hate mail you receive every week in PvP. Maybe if you're a legendary bow main, people might just give you the side eye and leave you alone, unless you're an Ariana swapper, and that's a different story. But if you use Wish Ender or the old poison butterfly bow, I'd be amazed if you even had in-game chat turned on at this point. And to those who do, god damn, your skin's gotta be thicker than Shy Lily's thighs. The funny thing is, on the other side of the fence, it's a completely different world. PvE bow mains are a delight to have on the fire team. Wish Enders mop up barrier champions, and Lemon Lime puts overloads right in their place. Just remember, new bow mains, everything the light touches is your kingdom. But what about that shadowy place over there? No, you must never go there. Hand cannons. This is the most confident prediction I'll ever make in my life. You're a PvP player, and I'll smack my grandma's ass live on Twitch if I'm wrong.
Hey Fallout, I'm a PvE hand cannon main.
Aha! Joke's on you. I only said that to weed out the Sunshot and Zauli's Bane users just to acknowledge him and get him out of the way early. Besides, my grandma's dead. So, for the rest of you, a hand cannon main in PvP, huh? Daring today, aren't we? Look, all kidding aside, being completely honest, I get it. D2 PvP has ups and downs, but to Bungie's credit, hand cannons feel good, especially on mouse and keyboard where I'm betting there's a high chance that's what you play. Any headshot 3-tap you get is an instant dopamine release in the brain, and just like Tamatoa, you have a wide collection of beautiful treasures that you'll never ever part with, even if they've become hardcore power crept. Top shelf Dire Promise roll that you haven't touched once in half a decade? You'd sooner throw out your own son than shard that. Anytime a content creator puts out a hand cannon tier list, you immediately scroll right to the end of the video, then fiercely dive into the comment section to tell them just how wrong they are while reminding the Crimson mains that they're not really one of you. And people wanting hand cannon nerfs make you sick. Bungie can take your igneous hammer when they pry it from your cold, dead fingers. Sidearms. The smart money says that you're a PvP player and you play on controller, and you're actually kind of fierce. Unfortunately, these past couple seasons have been hard on you, what with the never-ending SMG meta. After all, it's only okay to abuse close-range primary weapons if they go pew-pew-pew, not rat-a-tat-tat. You probably have a build you fine-tuned to perfection that may or may not include the Mechaneer's trick sleeves, and many of your sidearm god rolls are quite old but still damned effective. You likely have your old reliable roll for when you want to get serious, but you also won't hesitate to break out the meme exotics for quick play shenanigans. There's a small chance that you watch a good amount of True Vanguard, all while giggling with delight as the entire player base throws rotten tomatoes at the SMG players instead of you. Pulse rifles. Step forward there, boys. I don't know if you'll be able to hear me from all the way in the back of the map. I'll try to make this quick because I know your bedtime is probably coming up real soon, even though the sun hasn't begun to go down yet. Just as the stereotypical hand cannon main is probably a twitchy, still in school youngin' cranking 90s and spewing obscenities into the mic, the stereotypical pulse main is a stiff, tired-ass dude who just got home from 10 hours at the office and cares way more about his newly developing lower back pain than about whatever is or isn't considered meta in PvP these days. If you play M&K, it's no time to explain, very original, and if you play controller, it's basically anything else. The Messenger, Scalar Potential, BXR Battler, the Peace of Mind, or a wide range of other legendaries you hoard and whip out depending on your mood. There's a chance you love pulse rifles so much because you grew up on Halo and the BXR, and you're scratching your head a little bit about all the teasing you get because way back then, they were considered skill weapons. What the fuck happened? Honestly, I don't know, but there's no time to think about it now. You're late for your early bird dinner reservation. Auto rifles. Auto rifle players are kind of like your grandparents. They've been doing things a certain way for a long time, and no matter what amazing innovations come out, they ain't changing their ways for nobody. PvE, PvP, doesn't matter. The AR ain't leaving their hands no matter what. What's that? There's a new hand cannon exotic coming out in the final shape that cooks your dinner, sucks your dick, and does your taxes? Sorry, they say, you lost me at hand cannon. AR mains often sigh while fondly remembering the good old days from way back of using Doctrine of Passing and the Vanquisher. While many of us have painful memories of the time when Hardlight was briefly god tier in PvP, they go to bed every night praying to whatever heathen god of bullet spammery they worship that Bungie will bless them with a new mid-season patch that takes us back to that meta. You can often find them paying tribute to their current favorite gods, including Quicksilver Storm in PvE and a crafted Amit AR2 with way too many kills on it in PvP. Sniper rifles. You are the high elves of the Destiny 2 community. You turn up your nose and scoff at those who would willingly equip shotguns or fusion rifles. They're peasants, riffraff, all of them. You have pure and noble blood, and you would sooner jump naked into the polar bear exhibit at the zoo than willingly equip anything other than your precious head clicker. After all, how are other players supposed to know that you're better than they are? While every sniper main always has their favorite child, it's always one of the same damn branches on the family tree. It's almost like when you first fire up D2, an invisible Harry Potter sorting hat puts you into one of the 4 sniper schools for life: Cloud Strike, Beloved, Overreach, or the Adored. And don't let the haters tell you at the end of the day that D2 has more aim assist crammed into it than cheese and sausage stuffed into the average Midwesterner. Your gun requires aiming, and that's that. Fusion rifles. Here's a fun thing you can do on Twitter or Reddit. Jump onto a burner account and say, "Fusion rifles actually take more skill to use than shotguns or snipers," then X out of the browser and know that you've just committed the online equivalent of yelling fire in a crowded movie theater. There's a chance that you're a PvE player with a fun, old, reliable Cartesian coordinate in your back pocket, but the smart money says you're a PvP player on the sticks and you're actually somewhat of a demon to go up against. You follow LEGO's advice and teachings to the letter, and you've got all the classics: the Zealot, the Techian, the Iterative Loop, all of them with quad-digit kill counters and all of them with under pressure. For some of you, the weekend that Xur first sold the infamous main ingredient was basically the D2 equivalent of Peter Parker getting bit by a radioactive spider. Something happened inside of you and you were never the same again. Just remember, son, with great reticle friction comes great responsibility. Trace rifles. If you're a PvE player, you don't F around. Odds are you're bringing either the Navigator to the party, meaning you're probably a Strand solo god, or you're rocking the Divinity, in which case, I salute you. If you're a PvP player, I'm gonna be honest, you're a little bit of a weirdo, but you actually kinda wear it like a badge of honor. You're fully aware that you're the odd duck in a pond full of geese, but it doesn't bother you at all. Armed with your quirky god roll legendary or a good old-fashioned wave splitter, you roll deep and take people by surprise a lot of the time. In almost every game you play, you either get bowled over by the meta, or you drop a casual Wii ran as players have no idea what they've even been hit by. There is no in-between, and you know what? You're okay with that. Shotguns. Is it possible that some of you watching are PvE mains who have either a trusty slug shotgun or the Legend of Acreus and delight in hole-punching champions in Nightfalls week to week? I suppose, but it's far more likely that you're on the other side of the fence. The PvP shotgun main. The biggest slice in the pie chart, the sheep in the herd, the drop in the ocean. I'd go ahead and tease you, but I'm right there in that big stupid boat with you. Yeah, sniping is fun, but precisely aiming at the head every time you want to get a kill? Ain't nobody got time for that shit. Slide up, barely ADS, free kill. Easy as 1, 2, 3, and that's the way you like it. The hardest decision you have to make in a day is whether you want to equip your 5 out of 5 Matador or your conditional finality, but either way, you pin down your W key so hard and so often, you're basically a part-time dominatrix at this point. Maybe one day you'll learn how to snipe, but it sure as hell ain't today. SMGs. You're kinda like Chris Pratt. There was a time where a lot of people liked you, and yeah, you're at the height of your game right now, but man, everybody's just kind of sick of you at this point. The exception, of course, being if you're a PvE main out there having a good time with your Volt Shot Icecle, your Incandescent Callus mini tool, or your Osteostriga with 10 zillion kills on it. But that isn't you, is it? Oh no, of course not. You're the other kind of SMG user. Peacekeeper Titan, Ward of Dawn, 100 intellect, and that stupid fucking helmet. If the devil himself appeared to people and offered success at the cost of their soul before most people could even open their mouth to weigh the pros and cons, you'd have already signed on the dotted line with your favorite half-eaten crayon. If you even take one step into quick play alone, your hands are permanently touching one of 4 things: an Immortal, an Unending Tempest, a Shira, or your own dick, because you're so excited after getting your 9th 30 bomb of the day in zone control against a team of solo stacks. Scout rifles. If you play PvE, you're kind of the tortoise from The Tortoise and the Hare. You've seen speedrun videos where groups of cracked players armed with galley and 2 apex predators crash through a GM Nightfall and then get an absurdly quick time while still getting platinum. That sure as hell ain't you. Nope. Slow and steady wins the race, you tell yourself as you plink, plink, plink away from the backfield with a Polaris Lance. Your playstyle ain't exactly exciting, but it definitely gets the job done. You're the missionary position of the D2 sandbox. If you play PvP, odds are you've got one of 2 guns in your hands. A 180 RPM with box breathing so you can 3-tap some poor sucker from out of hand cannon range, or a DMT, which you admit has lost a lot of sheen over the years, but it still feels good to you. And you know what? I respect it. Give him hell down at the saloon there, Wyatt Earp. It's almost high noon. Grenade launcher, special. You are either a saint or a sinner. The former, using excellent options in PvE to help the team in endgame content. Maybe an auto-reloading disorienting grenade launcher like Pardon Our Dust, or the Truth Teller, or maybe a godly waveframe like Forbearance. Or you're the latter, a waveframe grenade launcher with disruption break paired together with a hard-hitting kinetic primary. Oh, you don't have to explain your loadout to me, but you know who you'll one day have to explain it to? Jesus. Grenade launchers, heavy. For the PvP crowd, your use of a grenade launcher is practically an afterthought. Whatever we got laying around. Does this cataphragm have proxy nades? Good enough. Throw it on and let's go. For the PvE crowd, I actually gotta give you some credit. We out here knee-deep in a clear rocket launcher favored meta where the game plan 90% of the time is G-Horn plus Apex Predator and let's burn this motherfucker down, but you don't march to the beat of that drum. You've probably got a god roll you're really proud of, maybe a launcher with Envious Assassin and Bait and Switch, or maybe something even weirder like Cascade Point. But at the end of the day, you're a unique spirit. At least that's what you tell yourself as your fire team begrudgingly gives up on trying to convince you to join them in rocket launcher DPS. Glaives. You're somewhat of an enigma and you very much know it. It's not like you're unaware of the meta, you fully know what it is, but it just ain't that fun to you. Glaives, on the other hand, are. You love your weird little magic stick and you've mastered the art of the old shoot and poke. Sure, 9 times out of 10 in PvP you straight up get your ass kicked, but when whatever insane strategy you're cooking up actually plays out the way you'd planned, you feel like a true 10,000 IQ gamer. In PvE, you really hate dying, so much that you've got a stab stick loadout on every class with the sole purpose of giving you comically high levels of damage resist. Your friends may laugh at you, but at the end of the day, if your GM Nightfall team wipes and goes to orbit, it damn well ain't gonna be because of you. Swords. If you play PvE, you fall into one of two camps. You're either a simple-minded yet pure of heart, sword go swish 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 damage dealer who just wants to run up on a boss in order to tear out a new b-hole, or you're a speed-running oobing superstar who ain't running the weekly featured raid to get loot. Oh hell no. You're running it to solo speedrun the jumping puzzle or skip half the raid entirely with your trusty eager edge blade. If you play PvP, you are terrified that someone, anyone, might inspect your guardian and accuse you of using a no-skill loadout, so you've completely eliminated that possibility, even across your choice of power weapon. You're probably a stompy hunter main with a hand cannon and either a 5 out of 5 sniper or a 5 out of 5 matador, and that sword is either a half-truth or the other half with eager edge on it, or I let Mr. Beast light my house on fire to help some random guy win 500k. Rocket launchers. Hear ye, the meta masters are here. Oh, what's that random LFGer? You want to bring anything other than a crafted Apex Predator and triple solar surge to my raid fire team? Well, that just sounds like a bunch of scrub talk. Not using Argent Ordnance is literally a throw. I bet you used Thunderlord on Nezarek. Hey dude, I told him that I bet he uses Thunderlord on. If you play PvP, you're in the same camp as the grenade launcher players. The rest of your loadout is what you care about. Just give me something to guarantee one free kill on some random jabroni, and then I won't think about power ammo again till the next time it pops up. Linear fusion rifles. You probably know that rockets are hard meta in PvE right now, but you know linears are respectable, and you've probably got a really good one. Odds are you might have had just one too many experiences where you were too close to an enemy in a DPS phase and blew yourself to Kingdom Come. Or maybe you just prefer the safer DPS strategy, plinking some enemy comfortably in the dome from downtown. Anytime a boss in the game is coded to take more damage than they should from being shot in the head, you're sure to let everyone in the fire team know just in case. If you're a PvP linear fusion rifle user, hey bud, 2019 called, wondering where you're at. I'd tell you to learn how to snipe, but I'm sure your post-game messages probably already tell you that on the regular. Either that, or you use a linear as your power weapon in PvP, and in that case, I don't really know what to say to you. Do you know where you are right now? What year is it? Who's the president? Machine guns. You are sick and tired of everybody telling you what weapons to run all the time. Look, you get it. You're not a number cruncher. You know what you're running probably isn't optimal, but machine guns are easy, and you don't feel like you're running out of ammo after firing the gun 2 times, and you know what? Good enough for you. You actually feel bad for a lot of people. So few of them will know the joy of cutting through waves of enemies with an overflowed reconstruction mag machine gun like a hot knife through butter. And you know what? Their loss. Or you play PvP and you've gotten a little bit too annoyed in the past from whiffed rockets or self-killing grenade launcher shots to the point where you said, F it. I'm just gonna treat PvP enemies like a Lost Sector major and they can goddamn deal with it. Like today's video for a follow-up and check the pinned comment for more. Thanks for watching. Peace.